Oh man, dude, I want to go back to drag and drive so bad.
Yeah, we're in that like downtime, man, where it's
Oh,
real weird where there's no events going on.
it is brutal right now. Well, guys, welcome to the Drag Drive Repeat News presented by Summit Racing, your Saturday mornings stats and stories from the community. Today, we're talking about Drag and Drive World Champion updates. I've got a new rule I've made. It's basically like an updated rule. An abandoned trailer left for 15 years is finally open. Something super cool is inside World Series of Pro Mod Dragon drivers are down there. We got updates on those guys and a ton more. Like the slowest car on sick week. So, Mr. Eric White, will you hit the intro and let's do this thing?
All right, let's go.
All right, guys. Like I said, welcome to the Drag Drive Repeat News presented by Summit Racing for the last day of February. I can't believe it, dude. We're moving into the third month of 2026 already. I feel like this has been a wild few days and a wild few months already, and it's only gearing up. So, if you guys don't know, my name is Mike Narks. I'm the host of this episode and the show that you watch on Wednesday nights. This coming Wednesday, the Canadian Invasion, y'all. We've got dudes from the north up in Canada are going to be on. We're going to talk 90 minutes plus about all of the things that those guys go through, getting to events, building cars, extra costs that are involved in living in Canada and building hot rods and all that kind of cool stuff, and just some of their adventures. And my co-host, my right-hand man here, Mr. Eric White, what you got going on, dude?
I am Eric White, co-host of the show and the news. Mostly photography is what I'm typically doing, but this time of year has been interesting because it's a lot of artwork, which we're going to see some artwork today that I've been working on. We've got artwork for the circuit, just that kind of stuff is what's been keeping me busy.
Dude, it has been keeping you busy. You've been doing a hell of a job, man. It's been awesome to watch it kind of come together. The circuit big updates obviously coming through here in just a little bit, and a new event, or well, I guess not a new event. It is a 2026 event that is going to blow people's minds. Stick around. We're going to be there in about 10 minutes. I promise you're going to want to hear this. The short circuit 2026 is coming, but guys, one thing that we need you to do is hit that share button as we jump into this show because we have some good numbers right now of people watching. But I'm telling you, there's people that are just getting up and getting their coffee and all that kind of stuff. So they need to know we're live. And we can't do that without you guys. Our race car friends are the best. You guys are absolutely the best. We appreciate y'all so much for this. We're going to talk about this later. But, dude, 4 years, bro. Eric got a post or a Facebook memory from 4 years ago that was talking about how many events were on the schedule for the year and all that kind of stuff. So we're going to dig into that later in the show. It's just crazy the amount of race car friends that we've built over the years of doing this, man. It's been awesome. So appreciate you guys, and of course the entire group of sponsors we have that make all of this possible. So I only ask, please, if you're shopping, go hit these guys up, see if they've got something that you can use. If there is something you can use, hit it right there. There's discount codes and stuff like that all over the place. Plus, if you need technical questions, we can get you in touch with the right folks. So Summit Racing, love those guys. Not only sponsors, but also racers. Deechworks, same thing, man. The official fuel delivery of Drag Drive Repeat. Molly Motorsports, the best business on the planet. Eric Grillo, Stick Shift Nova. How do you beat that? Driven Racing Oil, Bill and Ashley just cruising around the country. Robin, Kirk, all those folks over there at Driven. Love you guys. Thank you so much for keeping all of our stuff turning in circles. Howard's Cams, Luke B. It was in making comments Wednesday night, and then also, dude, he has been all over the Drag Drive Repeat Race Car Friends Facebook group, man. He's been answering questions. I've seen a bunch of stuff over there. J-Wire Solutions, Jay Blanchard, big shout out to him. AFCO Racing Products, Eric Saffel and Rex, man, just solid dudes, awesome dudes, 30 years of experience. They can make your car go straight. I mean, let's just be honest. Performer built transmissions, GM transmissions. If you need an overdrive to put your car in the sevens, I'm sure that Ryan Snyder and the team can do that for you. 4L60, 4L80, whatever you got, Turbo 400s, 6Ls, whatever you want to do. And then, of course, Car Change 3D, who has a ton of really cool products like helmet hangers with lights on them. Genius. Who would ever thought of that? Corey did over at Car Change 3D. So appreciate all of them. And again, just asking if you are shopping, hit them up, see if they got something that'll work for you. Well, we're going to let Brian Loans tell everybody about Summit Racing and how awesome they are.
What does it mean to be built with Summit? It means you're hitting the autocross, drag strip, road course, trail, dirt, or open road with confidence. Because built with Summit means you're using parts from the top names in performance, priced to make your project affordable. And it's all backed by trusted tech expertise and blazing fast shipping. Summit Racing Equipment. Let's build it together. SummitRacing.com.
Dude, I feel like I blasted through all of that. So I'm going to let you tell about the Summit update this week, man.
Yeah, all good. Something really cool happened. Buckeye Skips has announced that Summit Racing will be a checkpoint for the event this year. That's going to be super cool. They also said bring some money.
Oh, dude, you can't go into Summit without buying something.
Right. Yeah. So that'll be really cool. That'll be a fun stop. Man, Summit store is always a cool place to stop if you're in that area. So I think this is going to be cool. Plus the photos of all the race cars at Summit is going to be super cool as well.
Oh. Speaking of cool cars at Summit, they're at the Autorama this weekend. We're going to talk about that here in a few minutes as well. And dude, Cole Reynolds, Isuzu or Chevy Love or whatever that thing is, they're in the front. Man, have you been watching this guy build this thing? It's incredible.
It is gnarly.
An old transaxle. This thing is bad to the bone, and Cole is one of the coolest dudes out there. And you can kind of see it here in the photo, but Brian Atkins' car is there. And then for folks that don't know, the silver Camaro that's on the other side, actually, we helped kind of a roundabout way get that into PRI 2025 just because of our contact, Julie over at PRI. She helped us get set up. That is a friend of my brother's. It's a guy that lived in Indiana down the street from Steven and helped him get it in. It's a 5th-gen Camaro with a big block and a huge through-the-hood blower, been on Power Tour and all kinds of stuff. We're trying to convert him over to Drag and Drive, but Steven kind of set that up. So, like, all the cars in here we have a tie to in some way or shape or form. So it's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, that's awesome. Everybody's going to have a great time over there today, and we're going to talk about some more of that here shortly.
And then, of course, while you're at Buckeye Skips, okay, and you're in the Summit store, go ahead, grab that Drag Driver Pete Marks. Have it right there in the warehouse.
Yeah. Hats, hoodies, big brim hats, hoodies, shirts.
Oh, yeah. All the fun stuff. Well, guys, let's talk about some Drag Drive Repeat updates. This is kind of our area for our brand type stuff. The 2026 Drag and Drive World Champion updates. This is a kind of amendment to the rules here. So this year, for the first time, we have included events that have more than 900 miles of driving get an additional 1 point. And if they have more than 1,150 miles, they get an additional 2 points. So it's 1 or 2 total, not 3 total. I need to put that in the notes as well. But to qualify for the additional mileage bonus point, you have to complete the week. You must submit a pass every day of racing, unless the promoter cancels a day because of rain or bad weather. You have to submit a pass every day. The only reason I'm doing that is, one, because it's much easier for me to keep up with, but then two, if you go 4 days and it's 900 miles, hey, that's cool on you. But I have no way to verify that you made all the 900 miles without getting to the track. So again, just made that rule. I have updated the Drag and Drive World Champion website, which you can find at dragdriverepeat.com/world champion. If you want to see all the full rules and everything like that, we have a huge list that will come out probably Monday on the website. I'll update where everybody stands for 2026 so far. Not that it matters. We're still so early. Really, June is kind of when things really start coming into play. So, of course, for the folks that don't know or maybe are new here, we have a world champion points. We have we award the top 3 in points at the awards at PRI. Plus, we have an 850 points champion and a 10-0 points champion as well. So a lot of fun stuff coming up with all that. Danny Diesel in here, bro. This guy, man, living the dream. He is one of the reasons we do this, which is what we do. And Hot Rod's 4x4 S18 here says, which summit? It'll be the one in Ohio.
Yep.
So the main one. The one where everybody that works there is cool and hangs out. Okay, sir, you ready for this?
I am ready
for this.
Wish we had a little drum roll here.
Oh, let me tell you, this right here has been a few weeks in the making. The short circuit is a big deal for us. It kicked off our second event last year. It's going to stick around. It is a Friday night, Saturday event, so it's kind of fun, hang out, just really in the season. Okay, so it's giving you some clues on the dates and stuff like that. Well, this year, big shout out to our boy Tyler Russum. This is a big deal. If nobody knows who Tyler Russum is, he's kind of a big deal because he is managing one of the most legendary tracks in all of the United States and possibly the history of drag racing itself. So for the circuit, or the short circuit 2026, we are going to George Ray's Wildcat Drag Strip. I can't wait. I can't tell you how excited I am about this. I know Eric is tired of, like we've talked about 9 times. I've sent him 9 messages yesterday. I'm like, dude, this is a big deal. This is a bucket list track for a lot of people. This track, as you can tell from the photo here on the screen. So for the folks listening on the podcast, I'm sorry, just go to YouTube, find it over there, watch it. This is literally what the track looks like right now. Okay. This track is the best way I can explain it is an outlaw track. It is fun. It is laid back. It's going to be awesome. This has a lot of history. Like Don Garlitz has raced at this place. It used to be quarter mile. Now it's 1/8 mile, and it is like outlaw to the extreme. It's a ton of fun. We're going to do Friday night here. November 6th is going to kick off day 1. We're going to do like an open test and tune. So there will be local people on site. And then we're going to race Saturday during an outlaw small tire race. So you talk about down and dirty. This right here is going to make it happen. I'm telling you, this is going to be a huge deal. 100 car max. That's all I'm taking. This event will become legendary. I promise. The George Ray's deal, we're not even opening registration until May because I want maybe even June. I don't know. I want to give this thing enough time to where people are foaming at the mouth to get into this for registration. It's going to be crazy. The folks that do the circuit this year, I promise you're going to love me. We're going to take care of you big time. The folks that did the short circuit last year, we're going to take care of you. Anybody that does the street and strip series during this year, we're going to take care of you. So you take care of us, we're going to take care of y'all. I promise. This is a big deal. I want you guys to understand this is a big deal, not just for us, but also for Tyler and the team at George Ray's. He, a few years ago, he wanted to put on like a Arkansas only drag and drive, and it just didn't work out. It was probably, to be honest, too early in the drag and drive come up to do it. His timing was great. I love the early timing, but this is gonna be a big deal. It's gonna be a great kickoff, or a great finish, not kickoff, great finish to the season, November 6th and 7th. 100 cars, Northeast Arkansas, Paragould, Arkansas, George Ray's Wildcat Drag Strip. Dude, I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm so excited. Hit the share button, guys. Please hit the share button. This is a big deal.
Yeah, this is somebody that would be fun to see there. Martin Kilroy
Oh man,
saying need to go there, old school.
yeah, it is definitely old school, and we're going to keep it easy. We're going to have 6 classes. We're going to do the U versus U stuff, which is so easy. Tailgate brought to us by Alex Arquette at the Cornerstone Performance Transmissions, 650 index, stick shift, power adder, and all motor, which is basically the same way we are setting up all of our street and strip series. Yeah, Anthony Hollis yesterday, he was like, I don't even know what this idea is, but I'm in. Anthony, get ready, buddy. It's going to be on.
Yeah,
It's going to be a lot of fun. This is going to be really neat. And I think bringing so much attention to George Rays is going to help George Rays throughout the year, right? Because, I mean, we're looking right now, we have 8 months until this event. So it should be really good. It'll help George Rays, which is a big thing we need to do. Yeah, Adam Hodson needs to get into the short circuit. Believe me, he's one of my first messages that will be sent out about this because, man, I would love to see the gap train or whatever Adam's driving at this event.
Yeah. Yeah, this is cool. This one's we talked yesterday. This one's a little bit closer for me, and definitely early enough that it's on my calendar. So hopefully everything plays out and I'll be able to make it down, because this would be a lot of fun. This would be a cool track to go to, and I don't know when else I would attend a track like this. So
to be honest, I don't either, because if you're hanging out with us and Dragon Drive stuff, we don't typically go to tracks like this. But this one with all the history and stuff like that, when I told Sean Fling that we were going there, dude, I could feel the enthusiasm through the phone. He was like, oh man, he's so excited. So
stick shift class.
Oh yeah, definitely stick shift. Yeah, we'll have, again, run through the classes. We'll have U versus U, which is kind of our catch-all. You know, who can you be consistent? Tailgate, which will have most consistent and quickest. We'll do 650 index, obviously because it's 8th mile. We'll do stick shift, power adder, which is open to anything and everything, and then all motor.
That's going to be
nice
awesome.
And easy. Yeah. So if you'd like to get involved in this and sponsor a class or sponsor some goofy trophy, we're in. Let us know. Let's talk. All right.
I love it. I'm excited.
I'm so excited about that one. Okay, let's talk circuit updates, because this is things are flying at us fast, right? And we got to get going fast. I got to quit talking. So the circuit 226, you're going to give us a breakdown in days here in the driven segment, but I want to run through some of the route stops we're going to be real quick, just to kind of get this out there, so to get people ready for the drive, right? So we got the Tulsa Driller, which we've never done this. In the times we've been to Tulsa, we've never done this, mainly because we were always going a different direction. So the Tulsa Driller is up first for us. We're going to obviously stop at Love's, our camp counselor sponsor for both the circuit and the short circuit. So Love's headquarters is right kind of on our way. So we're going to swing through there. We're going to hit the, I can't remember the name of this place, the Wade Phillips filling station. That's where I always get jacked up on that one. So this will be a cool one. I thought this night shot would be perfect, because it'll probably be nighttime or early morning when we're hitting this, depending on which side of the road it's on. So I think that'll look really cool. We're going to do the Rock Cafe, which is one of the most iconic places on all of Oklahoma Route 66. We're going to hit it. And then, of course, we're going to do Deech Works, our boys over there. We're going to, not only are they bringing 2 cars, but they're also super cool, and they're right on our route, depending on the direction we go in and out of Oklahoma City on. So I'm excited about that. And then, of course, we're going to be at the Oklahoma Motorsports Complex for the racer party, but that is going to be a route stop as well. So people they'll have to stop between the hours of 6 to 10 p.m. for the racer party check-in, but then they can go on and do their own thing if they don't want to race go-karts, which I don't know why you wouldn't want to race go-karts.
For sure.
Yeah. So that kind of gets you your route stops. We will be posting up artwork over that for the next, over the next 2 or 3 weeks, something like that. We're not going to bombard you guys with that, but definitely keeping everything updated and trying to, put out as much stuff as we can. We announced this on Wednesday night on episode 140, but Tom Bagley is making his debut at the circuit, so he'll be coming over, hanging out. Sadly, he's in the Mustang here. He will not be in the Mustang when he comes over for the circuit, but he will be hanging out and having fun. And then our boy Richard Brewer, Dirty Panda himself, will be coming over to, as you can see here in this photo, do some videography work. Also, he's going to be helping social media wise, things like that. He's just going to be kind of gathering content. So obviously, you guys know Eric White right here kind of runs all the social during the circuit. And so Richard's there to help put out more content, do more stuff. Because again, last year was a turning point for us. This year is just going to be even bigger. 300 cars on Route 66 on the 100th anniversary, bro. I don't know if it gets any cooler than that.
Right. Bring it on.
Yeah, it's going to be insane. So, all right, man, let's, that's all the circuit updates. Let's move to some driven racing oil stuff.
All right, perfect.
Hey, it's Brandon from Fort Smith, Arkansas here. Driven Racing Oil is a performance engine oil that can do it all. GP1 is the ultimate oil for any race or performance application. Whether launching hard at the drag strip and during the extreme heat of off-road and circle track, or pushing the limits in top-fueled drag boats and demo derbies, winning racers choose GP1. Compatible with engines from classic hot rods to cutting-edge race machines, GP1's unique surface cleaning and high zinc formulation ensures superior wear protection, particularly for flat tappet camshafts, while solving issues like cylinder washout with methanol and ethanol fuels. Crafted from the legendary Bradford, Pennsylvania base oil and enhanced with state-of-the-art additive packages, GP1 offers the best in protection and performance.
Oh, yeah. Brian here needed me to drive the truck and trailer for either circuit event.
Bring it on, buddy. Bring it on.
All right. So for Driven, you guys know DDR10 gets you that 10% discount on anything on the Driven Racing Oil website. So if you're picking up oil for the season, head over there, use code DDR10 and get yourself a little bit of a discount. So going on this weekend is the Detroit Autorama Show, the 73rd annual Detroit Autorama this weekend. So if you're anywhere in that area, make sure you head over there. General admission tickets are $30, but if you go to O'Reilly's, you can get a $2 discount per ticket. Pick those up for $28. Today they are open from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. and tomorrow they are open 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. You can see the photos here. This is just a couple of photos that Sick had posted. We're going to talk more later about some other cars that are going to be there, but here's a little preview of what's going on there. So if you've never been to an Autorama, they are a ton of fun. I've never been to the Detroit one. I go to the Chicago one, which is actually just coming up here in a couple weeks as well. But I thought this would be kind of cool. Wanted to talk a little bit about the history of the Detroit Autorama because, as I mentioned, the 73rd annual. So that means the very first one was in 57. So I wasn't able to find anything from 57, but 53 was the first year. However, I found some of these pictures from the 58 Autorama, which is super cool. So just a little backstory on Detroit Autorama. The first one was held at the University of Detroit Memorial Building, January 31st and February 1st of 1953. So man, just think about the cars that were there then. It only had 40 cars and was hosted by members of the Michigan Hot Rod Association, which was created only a year before to organize small local clubs in one unified body that could raise money needed to pull drag racing off the streets and into a safe environment. So even going back to 1953, the whole purpose of the show was kind of cool. They wanted to pull money together for a drag strip. So with the increased membership and the success of the first 4 shows, the Michigan Hot Rod Association had the necessary capital to build its drag strip. So it only took 4 years for them to get enough money. And Motor City Dragway, located in Fairhaven, Michigan, opened in 1957 as the first drag strip in the Metro Detroit area. Kind of just a little bit of cool history there.
That's awesome. Like that's 70 years ago, man. We're still so young as a hot rod community.
Yeah. Yep. So picture there on the left, this was Highland Park Hot Rod Shop's display at the 1958 Detroit Orama. Like I can almost like envision what that would be like standing there with this giant wall. I think of like a pegboard almost with all these parts just like hung up on the wall. Pretty cool to see there.
Yeah.
And then the right photo there was Al and Dave, I'm going to screw this up, Tarkani's 1932 Ford 3-window coupe, also at the 58 Detroit Autorama. And then that bottom photo there, everyone that was in the show that had a car there in 1958 got one of those dash plaques.
How
So
cool.
be kind of cool to know if anyone, probably nobody that's watching our show, but if anybody out there has one of those, would be super cool to know.
Yeah, that's pretty neat. I'm sure there's some car in storage somewhere that has that plaque still on the dash.
Right. Right. So definitely some cool history. I thought this was kind of cool as I dug down the rabbit hole of the Detroit Autorama. I saw 73 years. So of course I had to kind of do the math to see when that first one was. And then I just kind of went down that rabbit hole and wondered what information was out there from back in the day. And again, 1953 was the first year, only 40 cars. I wasn't able to find photos, but again, 1958, definitely a few photos here.
How cool.
Yep, pretty awesome. So we'll move into our regular driven racing oil event updates. So this morning, Wild West Dragon Dash registration will open 10 a.m. Central. So in about another 34 minutes, you'll be able to register for the Wild West Dragon Dash. So make sure you head over there and get registered for that.
Yeah.
So that's the only registration here this month. Obviously, we're at the end of the month anyways. But in March, we've got a few events that have registration coming up. We've got the Mother Road Mayhem registration event, which is the first of our single day events. That's going to open up March 1st. March 7th, we have Redwood Rally and the Havlicks Fastest Streetcar Shootout public registration are going to open again March 7th. And then the following week, Pistons and the Pines registration is going to open up March 15th. So again, if you guys are interested in any of these events, these are the dates the registrations go live. So be sure to be prepared for those events as they pop up.
That's awesome.
And some events that still have spots available. As far as I know, Dragway Rush had made a post that they have 50 spots still available. So again, if you're interested in that one, Street and Yeet, as of February 23rd, they said that they had 6 spots available. I'm not sure if those 6 are still available. I didn't see anything saying that they were sold out yet. So again, probably a few spots still open there. And Race Week, 2.0, there's still spots available, which blows my mind that one is not sold out yet. So again, if you want to get into any of these events, head over there now, jump in, because I'm sure these spots won't last for very long.
Yeah, this list here is pretty impressive. I mean, it surprises me that these aren't sold out yet, but we're still very early in the season. So
yep. And I'm sure there's more that I don't have that still have spots available. So as I do some more digging throughout the upcoming weeks, I will definitely try to keep this list updated. BC Drag It Challenge has a few spots available as well. So I will definitely get that added on for the next week too. But again, be sure you guys are getting out there and looking and getting on these events, because they're not going to stay open forever.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're in a spot where people can get in and there's no excuse now.
Right.
Get your spot, get to racing, folks.
Yep. And then the last segment here, the March events, so events that are coming up here next month. The only one we have is the Road Trip Drag Challenge #1, which is March 27th through 29th, starting out at Warwick Dragway. That is only 27 days away. That is, again, our next event. We go from Sick Week, at the end of January, beginning of February, all the way to the end of March with no event. So
yeah, it's the longest stretch of the year for sure.
Yeah. So we're kind of talking earlier. It's kind of that itch right now of no events going on, but 27 days, we will have another event to talk about. So again, only event coming up in March. And then we move into April, which is where we start getting a bunch of events popping up. So streetcar bragging rights, which again, isn't necessarily a drag and drive. However, we know a lot of our drag and drive racers do attend that. So that is April 15th through 18th at Rockingham Dragway, which is only 46 days away. So that's coming up pretty quick as well.
That's quick.
Yep.
And we heard Trevor, Brandon, Raj, and Rich Guido are going, and so Trevor and Aaron are flying in, and then they're all driving back to Canada.
Man, to have a GoPro or something on one of those cars to see that would be incredible.
Dude, please, please.
Next one up would be Redwood Rally. Their Chaos Cruise is April 18th and 19th, and that is the racetrack is Samoa Dragway, but I know they kick off the event at a pizza place. I don't know the name of it offhand, but they kick off at the pizza place. They cruise to the track. They do their passes there, and then I think there's another spot that they go. I don't remember if they go back to the pizza place or if they go to another restaurant, but
yeah, they go back to it's Players Pizza. I think in Medford.
okay.
I'm sure Bud will correct us. I don't think it's Medford now that I'm thinking about it. But yeah, going out to Samoa is pretty cool. But I asked Jesse the other day, I was like, hey, how do we get some competition here? Because the next event you're going to talk about, same dates. But he said there's not really classes. It's kind of a fun, they're doing a top 8 shootout. But so I don't know. We're going to figure out something for some trash talk.
I like it. So Redwood Rally Chaos Cruise is 49 days away, 50 days away. 50. I don't know if you're hearing that. 50 days.
Stress, bro.
The first of our one-day events, the Mother Road Mayhem, April 19th. Again, that is at Tulsa Raceway Park, only 50 days away. And then Carolina Drag Cruise, April 22nd through 26th at Shadyside Dragway, kicking off there, only 53 days away. And then the last event of the month of April is the circuit. April 30th through May 3rd, again at Tulsa Raceway Park, 61 days away from right now. 2 months.
That one gets me. Yeah, 61 days. Yeah, 2 months exactly. Get ready, fellas and ladies.
Yep. So those are your March and April events coming up. So again, kind of a countdown to those events and registration events. And I'm going to keep this updated each week with any registrations that are upcoming, any events that still have spots available. So I'll probably be reaching out, seeing what events have how many spots available still, and then we'll keep talking about the upcoming events. So that puts us at a total of 48 events for the 2026 season. Again, you can see all those on the Drag Drive Repeat website at dragdriverepeat.com/event list-2026, and that is in the chat right now.
Yeah, man, dude, great stuff there, man. I appreciate you putting all that together. That was awesome. It was way more detailed than what I normally do. So big props to you, sir. That was awesome.
Appreciate it.
All right. Big thanks to Driven. Again, DDR10 update code there for 10% off any purchase on their website. But I think the 15% special runs through the weekend. So be on the lookout for that. We shared that the other day on Drag Drive Repeat. So if it's a special code you need to use, check out all of that stuff. DeechWorks, man, again, one of my favorite brands right now. They are the leading manufacturer in high-performance fuel system components. They are also the official fuel delivery of Drag Drive Repeat. The DW product line includes fuel injectors, pumps, rails, regulators, filters, lines and fittings, plus surge tanks and pump modules, all engineered to support power levels ranging from 400 to 3,000 horsepower. With a focus on engineering excellence and industry-leading customer support, DeechWorks continues to drive the future of high-performance fueling. Again, DeechWorks.com. Use code DDR10 for 10% discount on everything from merch to like the brushless 810 that Tom Bagley used to run his first 9-second pass. All DeechWorks stuff. So make sure you're over there using that stuff and come hang out with them at the circuit. They're bringing 2 cars to the circuit, and they're the Racer Party sponsor, and they're bringing people to help out across the pits and all that kind of stuff. Oh, Kyle Merriman in here just got his 850 cert, one step closer to racing his 58. Help me out, Kyle. 58 Chevrolet truck. This truck's gonna be awesome. If you guys don't know, Kyle Merriman is Merriman Photography, one of our top photographers at Tulsa Raceway Park. So big shout out to him. Appreciate all the stuff he does for us at the track. You guys can find a lot of his photos on Tulsa Raceway Park's photos and albums page. Just flip through there. Man, the team of photographers we have at Tulsa Raceway Park is just so awesome. So appreciate him. Yeah, 58 Chevrolet 3200. Super nice truck. Very, very, very nice truck. Going to be really fast when he gets it rolling. All righty. We're going to keep Sick Week up here for a minute, but then we're going to go back to me and your faces. But listen, I got a little nerdy this morning, and we talked the other night about slow cars, and that kind of led me into thinking like, hey, how does the ETs of Sick Week break down? And I want to visit this throughout the year, kind of with events, and then also as that grows, what we're looking at, right? So Sick Week event ET ranges is probably the easiest way I did this. So I just broke it down by the first digit of that ET range. So like there are 6 cars that finish the event with a 6-second average. Okay, that's how we're going to basically break this down, which that's very, very fast. Not the fastest grouping we've seen ever, but crazy fast. 6 cars out of 350 something that started the week, 270 something that finished the week. 6 of those were 6 seconds. 7-second cars. This is 700 to 799. 14 cars in that grouping. So you can see it's multiplying, sir.
Yeah, 20 cars were 7 seconds or faster, which is, I mean, that's quite a bit, especially when you start looking at like historical data, like go back a few years. Those numbers were maybe single digits, if any.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, so 799 or quicker, 20 cars. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah. In the 8-second one, this one's kind of cool. 31 cars were, again, 80 to 899. 26 of those 31 were 850 or quicker.
Man, that's sorry, I did that wrong. It's 850 to 899. Okay. Is the range there. Yeah. So 26 cars. So that means there's only 5 cars that turned in an average quicker than between 80 and 849.
Which that part doesn't surprise me as much because of the 850, class there. So.
Yep. So that kind of sent me on the rabbit hole of like, what numbers, kind of follow from that. 9 seconds, 37 cars in that 9-second ET range, 10-second cars, 39. So that may be the most 9-second car average that we've seen in the past. I'm writing an article now about that and kind of how the progression from 12 to 9 that we've seen since Sick Week started in 2022.
Which is interesting because I don't know if you have that in here in your notes or not anywhere, but Havlicks had put together a 950 index for their upcoming event. So obviously with the increase in 9-second cars, that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, so, I didn't have it in time. I didn't see that until after I had already done it. But I'll tell you what, if you want to run a couple of the numbers there, I'll get that number for us.
Yep. So again, Mike said 37 9 seconds, 39 10 seconds. The biggest class of Sick Week was 52 cars in the 11-second category. So again, that's the biggest class this year, followed by 45 cars in the 12-second. So those are your most cars in those classes were 11 and 12 seconds. Followed by 10 and 9. So pretty interesting there.
And the 9-second class was actually split pretty evenly. So there are actually 19 cars that were 950 or slower. So it's right down the middle.
Yeah.
For the 9-second stuff. So again, I want to go through some of that and look at look at how that breaks down. I had put a note in here about 1150 to 1199, mainly because of the cage break was kind of my thought with 850 to see what that did, but the cage break on 1150 really wasn't that sparse.
Impactful.
Yeah, it really didn't change it that much. So I didn't even make the note there, like the count of 1150 to 1199, but I'll do that in the article. But yeah, so we've got 13-second cars, we go from 45 12-second cars to 19 13-second cars down to 16 14-second cars. So I feel like that's a huge drop between the 12 and 13-second cars.
Yeah. Yeah. So your bulk there is in that to like, really 8 to 12-second range. And then we move into, slower than 14. So 15 seconds, there was 4 cars. 16 seconds, there was 4 cars. 17 seconds, there was 3 cars. Hey, nobody was in the 18 seconds. Okay.
Yeah.
And one person finished the week with a 19-second average.
And you want to hear something cool? They earned it. They earned that 19-second average, which is, to me, it's not like somebody running 11s 3 days and then turning in a 20-second time slip to end up with a bad average. This person earned that one. So let's go ahead. That's the only picture within this sick week segment that I pulled. And I don't know how to say his name, so I'm gonna ruin this here. Jeff, Kovalik. You're a northern guy. How do you say that thing?
I would say Kovalik.
Yeah, Kovalik. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know. But this Mustang right here, single racer with a 19-second average that finished the week. All of those numbers we went through finished the week. Okay. Again, it's going to be in the article and all that kind of stuff. All right. No 20-second time slips in his like 20.000. Yeah. No beam breaks, I guess is probably a better way to say it. Just raw horsepower took him to this 19.925 average. Bro, count out 20 seconds in your head, and that's how long he was on a pass.
Right.
At full throttle. Like he's trying to make this pass. His quickest pass of the week was a 19.718. Slowest pass of the week, 20.102. So he was actually pretty consistent. Yeah. I mean, you figure that's like 3.5 or 3.8 tenths. So, or 38 hundredths of a second spread. So probably really in the top half of DYO as well.
Yeah. What would be interesting, and it's probably not accurate, but he might have spent the most time in his car on the track. But as I say that, I'm sure there were some guys that made multiple passes, like Randy Seward making multiple passes, even though they were 850. But yeah, that's wild.
Dude, that's a hilarious assessment. That would be kind of fun to know how many passes they all made throughout the week and all that kind of stuff to see.
Yeah, because you think about it, if he made more than one pass per day, then he's probably got that locked up.
Oh, for sure. So, 5 days, because they did run the slower cars, C and D class on day 3. You would have, 100 seconds, something like that, in passes down the track. So 2.5 minutes.
Hot Rod saying that is Tommy Two Guns' future father-in-law.
Yeah, Gen 2 Garage, a lot of stuff on his page with them and all the stuff. And again, I didn't see any underhood shots or anything. I don't know what this car is set up as. I don't know what the powertrain is or anything, if it's going to be a future build or whatever. But I'm definitely reaching out to him. I've sent him a friend request, but he won't see my message until he sees the friend request. So we'll know more, hopefully, on episode 141 on Wednesday night.
If I had to guess, it's probably a stock 4-cylinder.
Yeah, that's kind of what I figure. But it does look like it has an like a V8 exhaust on this side. Like, I don't know, if you look at that photo, like you could just kind of see one. So maybe, but listen, his quickest past week, 19.7, slowest 20.1. Like,
yeah, Jeff Kerchuk saying with those times 2.3.
I would say so, but why would you have an exhaust like that?
But what's interesting is I'm kind of curious. I think that would be kind of cool to know, like, if this car is going to be built into something, like how cool would it be to be like, yeah, this started out with a 20-second car, and then this is what we've done.
Well, and that's where I wish more events provided the public with which car it is, which car these guys race, because we could really see some upgrades like that over the years. Like, this car is 86 or 89 or whatever it is. I think it's 89. You could see that Jeff raced an 89 Mustang then, and you could go back and look and see that, and then go, oh man, he raced an 89 Mustang 2 years later and went 10s.
Right.
What happened? What was the change? So, oh, cool. Yeah. Hot Rods 4x4 S18 says a 4-banger bought by Tony from appearances on the old man's garage. Cool. How cool.
Pretty cool story there. Again, one of those things that somebody that has that slowest car is probably not going to get that much attention. So kind of cool to focus on something like that.
Well, and dude, anytime you earn 19s, come on, I'm in.
Yeah.
Just
right.
It's your boy.
So kind of rounding out what we were talking about there, 88 cars finished with a quicker than a 10.0 average. So pretty awesome there. 183 cars finished with a 10.0 or slower average.
Yeah, I thought that was a pretty neat break there. Again, finishing those 271 cars finished, and nearly, I would say 60-something% there are 10.0 or slower. And we talked about this last week with Keith Turk a little bit of why slow cars matter and why they're important. And really it comes down to what we were just talking about before this, is that guys will take a car and they just slowly upgrade it over the years. They start wanting, the goal 1 finish, goal 2 go faster than I did last year. I mean, look at Raj. He's a Rovic. He's the perfect example of that. That car's gotten quicker and quicker every year.
Yeah.
Sick week number 100 bump spot. This is Robert Green in a naturally aspirated small block. Thought everybody would think that was kind of cool. Some folks love NA stuff. I love turbo stuff. Hey, it's okay to like NA stuff if you like doing it the hard way. This guy ended the week with a 10.23 average, and that sent me down the rabbit hole of how many naturally aspirated cars were in the top 100, because I feel like this is a number that has grown as well.
And you probably would have had to done some work to dig through this one.
Man, that is the pain in the ass with drag and drive stuff. So I posted on Sick the Mag asking if anybody was quicker than Robert's 10.23 that was not in a naturally aspirated class, because that is the other struggle. It's just like stick shift. Like, we would love to have stick shift stats, but there's no way to know that unless you are ingrained in it and know every racer that's going to be there every time, and that's just tough for us to do at each one. So naturally aspirated is the same kind of struggle that we have with stick shift racing. But let's run through this backwards, right? So 8 cars naturally aspirated in the top 100. Okay, Robert Green 10.23, we talked about that. Andy Jacques 10.17, and then we move into the 9s, and I'll let you run all the 9s, and then I'll take the last 2.
All right. So Tim Lawrence was 9.798. Willard Howard with a 9.513. Rick McGuire with a 9.504. And then Keith Seaman with a 9.448.
And dude, if you put a naturally aspirated car in the 9s, that's pretty salty. That's a rowdy mofo, and I would love to be in some of that. Jason Tapscott takes over our next spot. So we jump almost a full second from Keith at 9.44 to Jason Tapscott at an 8.54 with a 9. And, of course, Randy Fuller in the red Fox Body Mustang with a 7.72 to finish out the week on the average. It's pretty impressive, man. I mean, those cars go fast, but just looking at naturally aspirated, that's what we see a lot of times too, right? Is just the clear jump. You go from mid 9s and 10s and who knows what slower from there, right? Probably all the way back to that 2.3 liter Mustang we just talked about. But then you really move in, and I think, Jonathan Stonecipher has talked about this on our show before. If you are a fast, naturally aspirated car, you are in such a small group of people that you earn more attention that way, because it is, I mean, dude, it's doing it the hard way. Look at how long Jason Tapscott has worked on that Camaro and gone fast. And I hate to use air quotes on that, but like, he's very, very fast, obviously, for a small block car. And I mean, for a big block car, it would be very fast as well. But he's in the top 2 of naturally aspirated cars at Sick Week in the best possible air conditions that we will probably see all year, except for maybe Street and Yeet at the end. He's probably that was the best, and he ends with an 854 with a 9 in a small block. And of course, Randy Fuller 772. And the guys on Gearhead Perspective talked about this the other night, but they spent like $7,000 in fuel that week. Another reason it's very difficult to run naturally aspirated stuff.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Too Tall Models Garage here saying, I remember way back when his first Camaro got stolen.
God, that's so sad. You don't know if that's the way to die. That's the way to die.
Yeah. And then his
way to die is to steal Jason Scott's Camaro.
Other comment here, William Patton went from 15s to 10s in his supercharged Suburban. So talking about that progression.
Yeah, that is so cool. All right, again, big shout out to Deechworks, Racer Party sponsor for the circuit. Feed the Racer sponsors for the other events we have. So we will be eating throughout the year. You know, I love to do that. And then, of course, bringing 2 cars to the circuit. David Deech is bringing his Volvo Amazon with a 4G63 stick shift, 8.8 rear-wheel drive whole thing. And then, of course, Mark Campbell's bringing the 850 just contender Mustang. So it's going to be fun to see this 850 class really get competitive. TJ Linebaugh, Mark Campbell, and our 3-time champion Brian Acton are all going to be at the circuit 2026. So get ready for an insane battle for Street Race Power Adder.
Yeah.
All righty. Car Change 3D, dude. I haven't talked to Corey as much, but man, this guy is on a roll on Facebook posting stuff. He is all kinds of creating controversy on fun stuff, on political stuff, but then also he drops all kinds of crazy products over there all the time. So you gotta, I'm not a political guy at all, but I do love seeing some of the comments he puts up there. So Car Change 3D should be your first choice for custom 3D printed parts for your project car. Corey can take your idea to reality. Maybe you're looking for that special car guy gift they can't get anywhere else. Corey can produce anything your brain desires. Actually, I have keychains here, but keychains are just such a small part of his business now. Find more at carchange3d.com or on social by searching CarChange3D on Facebook and Instagram. Okay, we're going to run long this morning, guys. I hope you have your coffee, because this dude right here, we're putting all of our eggs in this basket, man. Come on, Ned Dunphy. He probably has one of the hardest draws in round 1 of racing that's probably happening right now at the World Series of Pro Mod. Big shout out to Ned. Can somebody look and see if Ned made it past round 1? He drew Jason Lee. Ned qualified 18th with a 359 with a 1. He's running Jason Lee, who qualified like 23rd with a 359 with a 7. Got him in round 1 of elimination. So we need to know, please, somebody go look. Obviously, Eric and I are not going to do that. We need you guys to go look and see if Ned Dunphy moved on from round 1. This is a big deal, man. It's always so cool to see drag and drive racers at this level. He's one of the only guys that is doing it I think he's maybe the only drag and drive racer with a pro mod. He's also the standing number 1 average dude in the history of drag and drive. Okay. Is this guy right here out there racing pro mods too. Crazy.
Pretty awesome, actually.
Oh man, freaking nuts. And that's why we didn't see him on Sick Week, is because he was preparing for the World Series of Pro Mod.
Yeah. And then we move into our little gangstas coverage of the 530 index stuff. But the problem is there's no coverage, there's no content, there's nothing from anywhere or anyone about this class as of 10 p.m. last night. So
dude, it is so frustrating. We talked about this before the show. Man, it's very hard for me, because I'm like, it makes me want to do more and better when we are at events, because good Lord, dude, I couldn't find anything. Nope. Like, the racers aren't posting anything. Drag Illustrated doesn't post about anything but Pro 10.5 and Pro Mod, which is understandable. That's their stuff. But you can't find anything on Jimmy Dale Racing. You can't find anything on Poland's page. You can't find anything about True 10.5 standings or stories from the event or anything. So I was messaging all kinds of people last night.
Sounds like an opportunity. We need to go down there and provide coverage for those things.
Preach. Preach, brother. Let's go. I'm ready.
I'm ready. Sign me up.
Jimmy Reinhart won the first round in a borrowed car. So this picture is twofold. So he's in the G body there, the Grand National, it looks like, because his Nova killed the transmission line, which is the other photo, and they couldn't get it fixed in time because he would have had to reroute it and rebuild the AN fitting and all that kind of stuff. So sad to see that the Nova isn't there, but it's awesome to see that he made it past round one. Hey, yeah. But Terry, we met, man, there was, oh, yes, he is actually, I think he's the one that came last year with Brent McCoy. So tell me, I think I'm right in there somewhere. Yeah, bring it on, man. We would love to have you here.
Yeah. Rick Steinke did have a few posts last night and throughout the weekend. This thing is like a real deal bracket car. Like if you've seen his passes, like they are super consistent. He did make a post saying that he made it through the first round. And I don't know if you saw the video, but he was on the brakes hard.
Dude. Yeah, I had to grab this screenshot because I was like, wow. Like, what you can't see here is about where that Flow logo is the finish line. Like, he was on the brakes hard.
And like, how do you, I mean, I don't know. How do you know when to hit those brakes? Like, that's just wild to me. But yeah, on the brakes hard before the finish line. The 3:30 draggy time was on pace for another 5:29, which as I was scrolling through his page last night, he was 5:29, 5:28. He was saying like it was super consistent, which is pretty awesome. I think he'll do really well.
Here's the thing, and I haven't drag raced fast like that ever, right? How do you, your brain, you're full throttle, you see your draggy time, it says whatever. The 3:30 time says what, at 2:87. Let's just say, I don't know. That's probably not even close. But let's say it says 2:87. The time it takes you to go 2:87 means I'm going to run a 5:28. I need to back up. I need to stab the brakes at the end. What? How do you know that, dude?
Yeah. No idea.
No.
That is a way better racer than I probably will ever be. That's what I can tell you there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're beasts, man. And Brian Loans is up in the tower, of course. Al Tucci was making comments about the car. Like, it's just really cool to see those guys talk about drag and drive racers and these drag and drive cars going rounds. Another racer we don't talk about as much anymore because he's really leaned into the Midwest Drag Race Series, Top Sportsman Racing. But Travis Cannon is a big deal in Rocky Mountain Racing. He's done several Rocky Mountains. He's done a few drag weeks, things like that. He's down also racing. He made it through round one. So be looking for this green Mustang that he'll be down there racing today in Little Gangsters.
Yep, pretty awesome there. Billy Hoskinson and Tommy Hoskinson are both in the class and made it past round one as well. And Jimmy Dale is racing 50 Shades of Brown.
Yeah. So super cool to have drag and drive racers down there representing all the stuff. More drag and drive representation. Also, Jimmy Dale over in the True 10.5 in the red Camaro. I don't know if they've done round two yet or not. That would be something else we'd be looking for info on. But Larry Larson down there, True 10.5 goes on to round two. I know that. I watched his video this morning. Dude's been doing great. Larson Race Cars. Please go follow them if you're not already. If you're watching this show, you're probably already following that page. But he moves on to round two. Did you guys see, if you've been on Facebook and have liked anything car related in the last 5 years, you saw the wheelie that Larry Larson did in Q2 in round two qualifying. Man, insane, like 300 feet out, it's still in the air, and then it lifts up more. So pretty crazy. But he was saying in the video last night, ran a PB of 403 at 202 in the Nova. Badass. And then ran another PB in round one of eliminations at a 402 at 201 miles an hour. So
dang,
dude's getting down. Has the I don't know if he has the Pro Charger or the Hearts on that one, but it's a bad combo right there.
Yes, sir. It sure is.
Yeah, bring it on. And this this is I mean, you guys recognize this paint scheme and everything from this Nova. And this car, he originally had said when they were going through the rebuild that his plan was to, to be able to easily accommodate different engine combos and move the engines around and all that kind of stuff. So hopefully at some point we'll see this car on a drag and drive again. Anyways, Car Change 3D, guys, hit Corey up. If you have any questions about anything 3D printed products, he can get you there. They do a ton of dashes. If you're looking to put a Haul Tech in a OBS truck, he can do it. I promise you. If you're looking to put a 12.3 Holly dash in a 1970 Nova, he can do it. Oh, yeah, perfect. Terry says, I'm the one. I probably have the only Circuit 2025 hoodie in Finland. I bought Brent's 59 Catalina last year, but that event was really great. Everything worked like a charm, and no bad words from me, man. We appreciate that a bunch. Appreciate you taking the time, and appreciate Brent McCoy really for making that happen. He flew in. Brent gave him the tour. They drove to the Rocky Mountains in he was here 5 or 6 days, and 3 of those were the circuit. And the other time they drove from Kansas or Western Missouri over to the Colorado Rockies and back. So he had a trip of the U.S. for sure.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. Well, like I said earlier, we are going to go long on this one today. Sorry, I make too many notes, man. Go ahead and I'll let you run this one here.
Yeah, I appreciate everybody tuning in this morning. You know how much I enjoy our Saturday morning shows. It's always a great way to start the weekend, and appreciate you guys doing that with us. Hang out. We got a little bit more still to go. So again, appreciate all of our race car friends, all of our race car friends members, and all of our sponsors. Again, can't do all this travel that we do throughout the year without these guys. So again, hit these guys up. If you need anything, hit us up. We've got affiliate links, we've got discount codes, or we can just get you in contact with somebody at these companies. So again, thank you to Summit Racing Equipment, Deechworks, Molly Motorsports, Driven Racing Oil, Howard's Cam, J-Wire Solution, AFCO Racing Products, Performa Built Transmissions, Car Change 3D, Power Tube TV, WAF Racing, Sweet Patina, and Racing Junk. And that is going to move us into our Molly Motorsports segment here. And I'm going to play this video, and we will keep rolling.
Looking for a forged piston kit for your vehicle? You need Molly Motorsport Power Pack. What is Power Pack? It's the ultimate forged piston kit that comes complete with pistons, performance file fit rings, hot string steel pins, and clips, all engineered to work together. So all you have to do is build something great. Find your Power Pack at mollymotorsport.com.
Big shout out to Scott for sending that over to us. Appreciate that a bunch.
Yes, sir. All right. So talking about some Molly Motorsports stuff here, you got a ton of photos here from Mike Heston of Bucket List Mob for Autorama.
Yeah, appreciate that, dude, for sending these over, man. I really do. This was a it's hard for us to get everywhere and do everything like this. So we need folks that are out in the community to help us, and we don't mind giving credit. So you'll be able to find these on the page, on the Drag Drive Repeat page later with all the Bucket List Mob, logo and things like that on them. So this is the Summit booth. We saw this a little bit earlier with obviously Cole Reynolds' car or truck up front and center there, Brian Acton's on the other side, and of course Scott's Camaro on the other side. So make sure you go by, say hi to Jim and Joya over there at the Summit booth when you're around there. They've got, looks like, dude, that is a huge booth.
Yes.
That is huge. Just trying to look back, man. Wow. Yeah. Ton of space. Interesting. Cool. So those photos were from yesterday. Of course, the Gasser truck of Bucket List Mob. This thing, one of my favorite vehicles in all of Drag and Drive.
Yeah.
Do you remember how many speed holes he said are on this thing?
I don't, but I remember we did ask him.
Something. Yeah, pretty freaking cool, man. Mechanical injection, just bad to the bone, man. And of course, Chuck Stefanski's wagon here, dude. Does it get any cooler than this?
Yeah, are they posing for what Drag and Drive looks like here?
Great, yeah, right. It's just there's always somebody from Big Three Racing down on the ground working on the car the
Yeah.
whole weekend.
Yeah, that thing is, I love that thing. I love the look of it. I love how clean it is. Just, man, that thing's awesome.
Yeah, I agree completely. The quickest centrifugal blown car in Drag and Drive, as we can understand it. So I would like to debunk that if it needs to be, but I don't think it is. I think this car's been the quickest ever. So pretty awesome record there, and it's car show ready. Look at how clean that thing is.
It is.
Zach Blousy here in the probably dude, this shot with him going on the dragon, Tell the Dragon, so cool, man. Can you imagine driving that? Like, dude, look how close the seats are touching. Or maybe the passenger seat is kind of in behind the driver's seat. I don't know.
But you're getting cozy for sure.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you'd probably need that if they took that to Florida this year, you would have needed that because it would have been too cold to be out.
Right.
And of course, the Deal Brothers Mustang. You've got what Joanna Reed's car there in the back. Did you get to watch any of the Deal Brothers live stream last night from the show?
I did not.
In it, it was hilarious, dude. They were judging her car for the car show side of stuff, and like, I mean, we're not car show people, right? I'm definitely not. None of the car shows I've ever hosted had a traditional judging except one, and we only did that one time. I learned a long time that was not the way to do it. But they were under the car, like flashlights under the car, looking at parts and pieces and stuff like that. So it's pretty interesting to watch that. And they were kind of Harley and Nick Deal were kind of in the back talking about it, and they were playing it. They were showing the guy judge the car while he was doing it, while they were I'm not saying they were poking fun, but you know, we're never at a car show to win a trophy. I'll just say that much. But no. It's pretty interesting to go through all this stuff. And I was making comments on there, things like, oh, these tires have no tread, point deduction. Oh, you know, he was looking at the Deal Brothers Mustang. Oh, Ford motor not a Ford motor in a Mustang, point deduction. You know?
Right.
These things would probably score pretty well on a street car show, but not on a regular car show basis.
Yep.
So pretty awesome. The Sam Squatch there, Vinny Barbones. I really want to see this thing in person, man. I can't wait to get my hands on it. You guys will remember he went from a supercharger under the hood of this thing to twin turbos now. Of course, you can't mount those up front. You got to mount them in the back, you know, because no space, and get a little more weight on the back tires there to help with traction. And then, of course, Joanna's car. This car is so clean. I love the color. You know, she's always kind of had blue cars, right? That's
it was like blue or teal before.
Yeah. This car's definitely not that. I do like this. So I think we're going to see her at a couple different events this year in this car here. So going to be awesome. And of course, Sick merch there on site. You can see Nick Cryer. He's got his 33 Ford there. Just a whole thing. And the GMC Cyclone, that's the next giveaway car for Sick the Magazine. So pretty cool, man.
Yeah, a lot of cool stuff there.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really a little bit of FOMO.
Yeah, that's a trip for you though.
Yeah, no way. I'm not making that for a car show. So big shout out to Molly. Appreciate them and all the stuff they do for us, man. Again, not just sponsors. These are racers as well. So Eric Grillo, that stick shift Nova on the other side, and George Wright in his Duster, 700 plus horsepower, naturally aspirated car there, drives that thing all over the place. Pretty awesome.
Yep. All right, a couple more segments here. We're going to hit the Howard's Camp community segment, where we're going to talk about a trailer that's been opened after 15 years, right after this video.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Harris from the Monoxide Podcast. Real quick, Howard's Cams was founded as a racing cam manufacturer almost 80 years ago, when Howard Johansson created Howard's Power and Racing Equipment in 1945. Howard's Cams has always used on-track experience to design the most powerful designs, and today they have an even greater group of experienced racers in circle track, drag racing, road race, mud bog, and marine. They use all this input plus the most advanced computer software to design the most competitive race-winning products. From pioneers in drag racing and oval track to cutting-edge marine development, Howard's Cams is at the forefront of the industry, so make sure to reach out to our friend Luke B for your next valve train upgrade.
Oh yeah, I just looked out my window in the office here. It was 61 yesterday. It is very lightly, but there are snowflakes falling here.
Dude, that is bull crap. I'm in shorts, and it's going to be 79 here today in Arkansas.
Yep, I'm jealous.
Yep. So I hooked the battery tender up to the truck this morning before the show started. I put air in the tire, and just this kind of fits the community. So I'll go through this real quick. The old truck goes to Cars and Coffee in the morning. Taking my daughter to church, and I'll drive over to Cars and Coffee for a little bit, go pick her back up. Then on Monday, I have a 13-year-old gentleman that's going to come over and job shadow, which means he's a car guy, which is going to be kind of cool to hang out with somebody of that age that's into cars like he is. And basically, I'm going to help him kind of understand what I do, what we do here at Drag Driver Pete, and how he can utilize that stuff as we move more towards him growing up and doing car stuff. He wants to do car stuff for a living. So we're going to drive the old truck. We're going to cruise around, get some photos because he's photo videography. And then we're going to go out to Steven's house and look at cool hot rods.
Yeah, that sounds like a good time.
Yeah, so I'm kind of excited. So I figured I would work on that a little bit today and get it ready to go. And that way there's no questions. I really should wait and not hook the battery charger to it and let him get here and be all excited to go right in it and then it not work. Be like, hold on, we got to work on it for a minute, But
That's
I'm not
funny.
doing that. So yeah. So anyway,
Okay.
so it'll be fun. So that is one thing I will tell folks. Look at your local high school. We have what's called Ignite here in town, which is basically like helping kids choose career paths and things like that. And I've signed up to be a mentor or someone to have basically them come work for me for a few hours a week. Obviously, we do digital media here at Drag Driver Pete. So we're working with car guys and girls that are also into the digital media stuff, podcasts, video, videography, photography, all that stuff. So I've signed up to be part of that program next year to help kids that are coming up that don't know what to do because, short story long, but I spent a lot of years selling cars because I thought that's what you needed to do. If you were into cars, you sold cars, and I hated life for about 15 years. So love the money, hated life. And man, we should have been doing this 15 years ago. I'll just say that.
Oh, 100%. I've said it before. After we started doing this, I wish I knew how much I enjoyed it 15 years ago myself. So it's been awesome.
Yeah. So be a part of your community is basically what we're going to talk about in this spot here. But that's why I say that is because get involved, help these kids understand that. I mean, there's possibilities for them in anything and everything. If they're into cars, let's get them there. The Prodigy program. That's funny.
All right. I'm excited to talk about this one because this is pretty freaking cool.
Yeah. Yeah. This is a fun story. So if you guys follow Matt Frost, promoter and creator of Rocky Mountain Race Week, this was neat. It popped up. I put this on the screen. Here's September of 2025. He popped up. Hey, whose trailer is this? It's been out here for as long as I can remember. I'm cleaning up the property. Whoever it is, come get it or tell me who it is, right? Tell me what's in it or how, distinguishing features, and we can get together. Nobody forward.
Did he buy property with this on it?
No, it's been his property the whole time.
Okay.
So these people parked this trailer here. Somebody asked him at a race, from my understanding, somebody asked him at a race, hey, can I park my trailer there for a couple weeks? Yeah, no problem. That was 15 years ago.
Okay.
Loses the name and number. And probably, to be honest, probably didn't even get it, didn't need it. It's going to be there a couple weeks. You're going to remember somebody a couple weeks later. He said he does remember somebody coming out and getting a few things out of the trailer a few years later, but that's been the last time he's seen anybody at this trailer. That was 13 years ago. Okay. Opened it up. There's a freaking Chevelle in it, man. So,
I know when he posted that, I was like, that is insane.
It's so cool, man. And it looks like a nice car too. What's really sad is it's like, it just sat there for so long. So I can't wait to really hear the story behind this. He doesn't have that story yet. He's still trying to get a hold of people. As of 2 days ago, he said he's reached out to the name and stuff on the paperwork in the glove box or in one of the cabinets or something like that. So we'll keep you updated on this. It's just a cool story from the community. I mean, Matt Frost is a dude that does so much for the community, letting this guy store his trailer there. And then, it doesn't take long before something is, just there. Like you don't think about it anymore. It's just parked there and you're like, oh, well, yeah, I'll just mow and weed eat around it again,
Yeah.
and like, hey, okay, we'd like to clean some stuff up, but whose is this? It's locked up. He never touched it, never got in it or anything like that now, and opens it up. There's a Chevelle in there.
Yeah, I just wonder if original owner had passed away or something, and then it just was nobody ever knew where it was or what. Because I mean, I can't imagine that somebody that owns that Chevelle and a fully enclosed trailer would just forget about it, right? Like,
Right, like, and the hard, like, but here's the thing, right? I mean, there's stuff. I don't really have stuff parked like that anywhere anymore. But like, if I did, and say I did pass, would my wife know? Would my friends know where that stuff was? Say I raced with Matt one day, and I'm like, hey, my truck's having trouble pulling the trailer back home. I'll come get it in a couple weeks. After I get the transmission repaired, and then you park it there, and then you pass away before the transmission's done.
right.
Or I mean, where you fall and hit your head, and that's how short life is. What I'm saying.
Yeah. So if you park your stuff somewhere, make sure you tell your friends where it's parked at.
Yeah.
But I am curious to see what's going to happen, because I mean, this is super cool. There's history there. There's a car there that was at some race that I'd love to know the history, like where the car was built, like what it was built for. I see it's got an NHRA plate on it, so yeah, I don't know.
It's got a sportsman tag on, like SST, but it doesn't. You couldn't read the number. I mean, I didn't try. There were a couple of people in the comments trying to decipher it out and things like that. And I think that's kind of what's been fun. Is it's almost like it's like a next level barn find type deal, So there were a lot of people that were making suggestions like, hey, if they don't want anymore, let's raffle it, and whoever wins it has to show up at Rocky Mountain or Race Week and get it running and take it on the trip.
Yeah, looks like the trailer's a little rough up there. I mean, obviously been sitting for a long time. Layer of dust, I'm sure. All the gaskets and all the seals are probably dry rotted, but man, just overall super cool. I hope he continues to let us know what's going on with that.
Oh yeah, for sure. This is gonna be a neat story to kind of follow along with.
Absolutely.
All right, and we hinted this earlier. Go ahead and talk to, because you sent this over to me.
Yeah, this showed up on my memories timeline, and I thought it was kind of wild. This was February 27th, 2022, so 4 years ago. Drag Driver Pete asked, if you host or know about a drag and drive style event, please reach out to us. The below are events we are currently tracking. So 4 years ago, we were tracking Sick Week, the Circuit, Midwest Drags, Rocky Mountain Race Week, Hot Rod Drag Week, One Guy's Garage.
Yeah,
and Race Week 2.0.
King of the Open Road. Yeah. Crazy.
Oh, yeah. So what is that, like 7, 8?
Yeah. 8 events. 8 events. 8.
4 years ago.
8 events. Yeah. And now there are 48 on the list for 2026. And by the end of that year, there were 11 total.
Crazy.
Yeah. Pretty awesome. The community has grown exponentially. I mean, obviously you can hear it in just the numbers there. From 11 to 48 is impressive. And man, I say it all the time, we're just getting started. With events like Short Circuit, 2 days, a Friday night and Saturday, these kind of things can be included in a race. I mean, that's what Tyler and I talked about for the Short Circuit was, what race do you already have going on that has a test and tune Friday night that we can bring? Listen, even if it's 20 or 30 cars, it's still helping grow the community because you're going to have new people come in, right? It's these single day events that we're doing. It's the single day, like Judgment Day for Drop the Hammer, the single day event they're doing. Like all of these it's all growth. And it's really cool to go back and catch this. This was yesterday, 4 years ago. 8
Right.
events on the list. And at that point, dude, we were just trying to figure out what was even what is a
Right.
drag and drive? And like, King of the Open Road is definitely a drag and drive, has a lot of drag and drive racers, but their format is completely different than what we would traditionally call a drag and drive on like we call a drag and drive is you drag race and then you do a drive and then you drag race again, you drag, drive, and repeat. So, but what is a drag and drive? What is the right way to do it? Who knows? But we're going to figure it out. The biggest thing we say is we want more than 30 miles worth of driving, though. That's definitely what we need more than 30 because that's a true street class. Anything more than that, 50, I would say 50 is probably still short too. 60 to 80 miles is what we're looking for. And that's what everything we do does at least 60 miles worth of driving. So, yeah.
But
anyway,
pretty cool memory overall.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty well. All right. Howard's Cams, dude, big shout out to Luke B and the team up there, man. Luke is awesome. He's our spirit animal for sure.
Absolutely. And going into our last segment here, one of my favorite segments, the Found on Racing Junk segment. So obviously, Racing Junk is the official buy-sell partner of Drag Drive Repeat and your go-to destination for everything from race cars to trailers, engines, and more. And as of this morning, there was 33 cars in the specially created category for us, the Drag and Drive category. So with that, let me show you what I have found. Up first, a 1988 Camaro for $3,300. This one is in Ohio, so Buckeye Skips, if there's still openings there, you pick this up, go race in Buckeye Skips event.
Dude, look at how many times that thing's been viewed. 3,000 times.
Yeah, 3,002. Yep. So pretty cool Camaro here.
Dude, it's got to be fast. Look at those stickers on the window.
Right? It looks pretty clean.
It's got Driven and Summit on there. That son bitch is a race car.
Yeah. So it looks like probably got a 850 cage if I had to guess.
Mm-hmm.
We'll scroll through it here in a minute. Looks like an LS. But I kind of dig the red and gold color to it. That picture is a little blurry.
Crazy cheap or crazy expensive, Cousin Cletus? It's got a 9-inch in it, dude. That's got to be $3,000 worth of rear axle there.
So getting into the details here, it's an L33 5.3 with Gen 4 internals, ARP rods, mains, and head bolts. 799 heads with BTR 660 springs, comp cam push rods, trunnion upgrade. Let's see here. BTR head gaskets, headward milled 12 thou, FIC injectors, billet rails, remote mount coils, two-step, a TH400 with reverse manual valve body, trans brake, and a 4500 stall converter, and a trans cooler. Cheetah shifter, a B-cooled triple pass aluminum radiator with twin electric fans, Hellcat pump in the original gas tank with an AEM 450 inline pump. It's a GM 3-bar PCM flex fuel enabled E85 with alcohol content sensor, Magna fuel regulators, got some tacks and gauges. Let's see here, double adjustable lower control arms, panhandle bar, torque arm, QA1 coil, struts with caster and cambers, a PA Racing powder-coated 9-inch with 35 spline strange axles, 373 gears with a spool, a BMR anti-roll bar, 6-point roll cage with swing-out bars, frame connectors, weld wheels, disc brakes on all 4 corners, a license, and titled in Ohio.
Jeez. I'm going to, after that list of stuff, I'm going to have to disagree with Cousin Cletus here. He says just a third gen at the end of the day, not rare. Might be fast, but it's not clean enough to be 33,000. Shit, I think you just listed off about $48,000 worth of parts.
Yeah. So
Wow.
pretty cool. Again, Buckeye Skips, pick this car up, head over there, participate in a drag and drive, and you should be good to go.
Yeah, and I think it said it ran like 1050s with the turbo on it, so it'd be interesting to see what I mean, that if it runs 1050s with that dude in the turbo, like, I mean, surely one of our drag and drive guys could put that thing in the nines.
Right. So that was the first one. The second one is pretty cool, but a little bit different. A 2014 Corvette C7 for $47,500. This one is in Millington, Tennessee.
Oh, short circuit area there.
Yep.
It's like south
Yeah.
of Memphis.
This one is I do have a soft spot for these.
Yawn. His Tesla would still beat it. Boring.
So again, 2014 Camaro or Corvette here, built for drag and drive and daily driver, 6.0 index events, race star, drag pack on the car, 18-inch wheels, comes with the stock wheels. It's a A&A Corvette supercharger kit, Vortec head unit, 3.4 pulley, 11 PSI, and a ton of stuff here. Let's see here, BTR, LT4 valve springs, DOD delete, LS7 lifters, Texas speed long tubes with Cat X piped, LT4 high side fuel pump, ARP head bolts, E85 tune, G-Force Outlaw axle, Circle D 3600 stall converter. Again, this would be a fun drag and drive car that you also get some comfort features in.
Yeah, and like Cousin Cletus says here, Corvette is a better deal. Looks good too. I feel like this is a great deal. I mean, that's a pretty nice car for that kind of money. And that drag pack, you said
absolutely
15-inch wheel conversion. I think that thing's like 2,800.
Yeah,
just some 15s on it. So the drag pack, I mean, there's $4,000 worth of wheels and tires in that thing. I mean, this car, just like you said, would be comfortable. And AC, air conditioning, or AC heater, all the stuff.
And still fun to drive.
Yeah. Yeah, put the factory wheels on and go turn corners in it,
Yep. So those are my two found on Racing Junks for this morning.
That's awesome, dude. I really appreciate Tyler and the team over at Racing Junk for putting that together. I mean, it's an entire segment, at least like you said, 33 cars that are drag and drive ready. And anytime I look over there in that grouping of stuff, they're real deal cars. They're not like, hey, yeah, you could probably drive this on the street. There's some cars that are like that, but they're still street worthy and ready to go. So pretty awesome.
Absolutely.
Well, cool. Well, last thing before we round the show out, I am requesting everybody that's on here watching this to please plan for Wednesday night. It's going to be an insane show. We're calling it the Canadian Invasion. We have like Rich Guido, Rovic, Steve Gronick, Trevor Brandon's going to be on. Matt Blasco. Hopefully, he said he's trying to figure out timing and stuff like that. It's going to be fun. We're going to talk about what it takes for Canadians to do this. We've got fun stories that we kind of went over a little bit with Trevor on Wednesday night on episode 140. Was the time during COVID when Rich couldn't drive his car, or they couldn't drive across the border. They had to fly. So then they had to like drive it to the border, fly to Denver, drive back up to the border, and like walk across or something, or trailer his car across. It was the goofiest thing ever. So like Americans could drive across, but Canadians couldn't drive out, or something stupid. Like, we'll get the full story on that on episode 141 of the Drag Driver Pete Show, happening on Wednesday night.
Yep. All right. Well, once again, appreciate all of our race car friends for hanging out with us for dang near an hour and a half this morning. Again, hope everybody has a great weekend, and appreciate all of you guys being our race car friends. And one last time, can't forget our sponsors: Summit Racing Equipment, Deechworks, Molly Motorsports, Driven Racing Oil, Howard's Cam, J-Wire Solution, AFCO Racing Products, Performabuilt Transmission, Card Chains 3D, Power Tube TV, WAF Racing, Sweet Patina, and Racing Junk. And again, we'll see you guys on Wednesday evening.
Yep. See you guys.